Hello, today we're going to be talking about some Waragons. This grind spot has seen some recent updates multiple times. For the first season, it was changed to a multi-grind spot, which means that you can now come here with a party and grind pretty decently, which the trash loot was not touched at the time of that update, which really killed the spot initially because the problem was now it takes time to kill the mobs. Like you literally, or it's AP cap, so you can't insta kill the mobs no more. So not only was the trash loot horrendous and the drops here were pretty much damn near about worthless because the Serops are terrible, they never sell at the time. They also, the BMCs weren't really that necessary either at the time. So just, yeah, overall the spot when it originally was changed, pretty ass. It was pretty terrible. It was such a huge nerf. There was realistically no money in this spot whatsoever at that time once it was changed. But now with the Valencian update, we have a different story to a certain degree. So while it remains still a multiple grind spot with players, or a group grind spot, whatever you want to call it, this is now at least decent because the trash loot is more than 3,000. So it comes in at I think around 10,000, something around that. I kind of forgot what it was, but it's nothing major. It's definitely not the sulfur killer spot. It's not the Pila Coup spot. It's not the Kadri spot. It's not one of those. Don't get it twisted. The spot still is about as average as it gets. I would much rather grind Bashams than ever come here. So once again, the problem being that you can't make a fuck ton of money here by yourself. So that's the biggest issue. If they reverted the spot back to what it was, this would actually be a very, very, very positive change, and it would actually make it more viable. Because even right now, to grind here as a group, like, I came here with literally fully geared ass people. Not that it matters because it's AP cap, but like literally I'm like 630 in this video. Fucking Baylor's like 630, and then I think Neko's like 600 something. So like we're all super geared, and the problem being is like this shit takes so fucking long. The double pull that we had, which was what you're looking at probably at about this time, is pretty good. The double pull was very nice. That kind of made it a little less annoying. It was kind of like double pulls at trees. So this rotation that we were doing was actually pretty good. Does it save the spot? Yeah, fuck no. It's still pretty trash, but at least it made it better. I'm not even gonna bother to like show the trash or anything because realistically, you're making about 120 mil here. Like that's about as good as it gets. You can't push it really any higher because of the AP cap. It's roughly about 120 mil. That's pretty much where you're looking at. And if you bring the correct classes that can easily AoE smash everything, which we had a pretty good composition, Witch, Zerker with spin, devastation, stuff like that, warriors spins as well, and the massive AoEs that they have. So we had a pretty good AoE composition, and it just is roughly around like 10,000, 10.2k trash, around that, which is okay. It is okay. But would I come here over going to any of the other spots? Hell no. It's too tedious. I don't like the grind. It feels like I don't know. There's something about Bassies that I can do over this for whatever reason. Maybe it's because I like the positioning of the statues and it's not as tedious, because like with Waragons, the rotation is you have to run around everywhere. Like there's a lot of running around, and it's kind of annoying. So with Bassies, there's a couple rotations where the statues are like literally like 2 feet apart, so you just go from one statue to the other and you just rotate back and forth, and it doesn't feel as tedious. It feels like you get things done quickly, and I think it's just more palatable is what it is. Honestly, it's just a bunch of placebo garbage I'm talking about, but just for whatever reason, I go to Waragons and my depression just kicks in and I just don't even want to fucking be here. I will say, at the very least, the BMC drops were actually decent. If I remember correctly, I pulled roughly around 5 or 6 BMCs in the hour, so that's actually pretty positive. So if it's consistent around at least 3 per hour, if that is that consistent for 3 per hour, not bad. This is a blue loot scroll and Agris, so bear that in mind. So if 6 BMCs in 1 hour, and if you can somehow reproduce that every single time, it's actually a decent spot for BMCs. But in terms of just raw silver, raw money, unless you have a group that is willing to sit through this absolute hell for multiple hours, you're really not making a whole lot here. Not to mention the XP, yeah, that shit ain't moving, and skill points either, not that great either. You're really fucking dog shit. This spot sucks dick. It's really the low end. They did Bassies and Waragons dirty. I'm sorry. I know some people really liked Waragons. I definitely was one of them. I used to power level here. This spot used to be gas, but now it's like Like, why the fuck do you even come here anymore? It's pretty terrible. So it is unfortunate, but you know, rip Waragons, rip Bassies. Eventually, if they ever revert them back to what they were before, it'll be positive. It'll be pretty positive. But until then, yeah, I would never come here. I would literally never roll up to this fucking spot. Just not worth it. The BMCs are not worth it for me. You can get, you know, you can go to Sakraya and get the same amount of BMCs. You can go fucking Ackman, get the same amount of BMCs. Like, there's quite a few different areas that are literally going to give you more BMCs if that's really what you're worried about. So there's no reason to sit here and suffer. Like I said, if you're looking for a group grind spot and you're like, well, hey, I got friends, but let's play something, this could work, I guess. But personally, it's just not that good. I think of it more as like a poor man's trees, because poor man's trees is just money and nothing else, and the money is like mediocre at best. At least tree money, you burn through like a fuck ton of aggres, and you basically have like 2 hours and then your aggres is gone. At least what I will say about Waragons, the aggres was actually relatively efficient. It was about 15k aggres per hour, so that was something. So that's at least a positive, but it's not better than trees because, well, trees gives XP. So if you're working towards, you know, 61, 62, 63, etc., you're better off at trees. You're just better off at trees. You'll make more consistent money here because you don't have to rely on aggres so much. However, it's just, yeah, it's just not good. It's just really not good. I'd rather go to trees and live my life there and be bored out of my mind at trees, at least getting XP and money. So that's pretty much my take on it. I think Waragons just, nobody's gonna grind here. Just nobody's gonna fucking grind here. It's the same deal with Gyfins. You know, it's a group grind spot. Nobody grinds there though. Why? Because it's not worth the effort. It's just really not. But anyway, that's it for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.
Yeah, she knows I'm the one. Yeah, she knows I don't need no cutting, I don't need no